All right, so today we're going to dive into the world of DevOps engineering. We've got a ton of resources here.
We do.
That cover everything from like the core methodologies and the essential skills to like building a successful career in this space.
Right.
And even some like unexpected connections to personal growth and spirituality.
Yeah, it's really interesting how this deep dive kind of blends practical skills with insightful perspectives on like career development.
Yeah.
And even, like you said, a touch of Zen philosophy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We've even got insights from a seasoned DevOps expert who like literally wrote the book on building a DevOps career.
Real.
After years of like fielding the same questions from aspiring engineers.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's a great way to address a common question we hear.
Yeah.
Is DevOps only for experienced pros? Or can someone who's just starting out break into this field?
Right.
So we'll definitely tackle that.
Yeah, let's get into it.
First things first, I think it's helpful to define what DevOps actually is.
Absolutely.
We hear the term everywhere these days.
Well, yeah, it's everywhere, but it's more than just a buzzword.
Right.
It's really a philosophy, a way of thinking about how software teams can work together more effectively to build and test and deliver better software faster.
So it's not just about like slapping a DevOps label on a team and calling it a day.
Exactly.
It's about a fundamental shift in how we approach software development.
Yeah, think of it like this.
Okay.
In the past, software development was often siloed. Developers would write code, toss it over the wall to operations, and hope for the best.
Yeah.
DevOps breaks down those silos and fosters collaboration throughout the entire software life cycle.
So it's about tearing down those walls and creating a more integrated, fluid process.
Exactly.
I'm already seeing how that could lead to faster development cycles.
Absolutely.
Fewer headaches.
For sure.
I like it.
One resource we're looking at breaks down DevOps engineering into 3 core pillars: pull request automation, deployment automation, and application performance management.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Let's unpack those pillars.
Let's do it.
Starting with pull request automation.
Okay.
What's the key insight here?
So pull request automation is all about streamlining the way developers collaborate. And get feedback on their code changes. You know, think about it. Like when you're working on a team, you're constantly making changes to the code base, right?
Right.
Pull requests are how you share those changes and get them reviewed before they're integrated.
So it's like a structured way of saying, hey, team, check out what I've been working on. Does this look good?
Exactly. Precisely.
Yeah.
And pull request automation takes this to the next level. By automating tasks like running tests, checking for code style issues, and even spinning up temporary environments.
Oh, interesting.
Where reviewers can actually see the changes in action.
Hold on. Temporary environments. Tell me more about that.
So imagine you're reviewing a code change. But you're struggling to understand what it actually does just by reading the code, right?
Right.
Wouldn't it be amazing if you could click a button and see those changes live on a website or in an app?
That would be awesome.
That's what these temporary or ephemeral environments allow you to do.
Okay, now that's a game changer.
It is.
No more trying to visualize the changes in your head. You can actually experience them firsthand.
Exactly. And this real-time feedback is essential for fast-paced development. It helps catch issues early on that might otherwise slip through the cracks, like performance bottlenecks, visual glitches, or even usability problems.
The pull request automation isn't just about speed.
No.
It's about quality.
Yes.
And catching potential problems before they become major headaches.
Absolutely.
I like it.
And that brings us to the next pillar. Deployment automation. This is about taking that carefully reviewed and tested code and getting it out to users reliably and efficiently.
Okay, so this is about automating the process of taking code from a developer's computer. And pushing it live to servers. No more manual FTP uploads and frantic server restarts.
Got it.
Awesome.
It goes beyond just basic file transfers, though. We're talking about choosing the right deployment strategy for your specific needs. Things like rolling deployments, blue-green deployments, and even more sophisticated approaches like canary deployments.
Whoa, hold on. That's a lot of deployment strategies.
It is, yeah.
How do you choose the right one? What are the key differences?
Great question.
Thanks.
Imagine you're updating a website with a large user base. You want to minimize downtime, right?
Of course.
A rolling deployment might be a good fit here.
Okay.
You update your servers one by one.
Taking one out of rotation,
Right.
updating it, putting it back in, then moving to the next. This keeps your site up and running throughout the update.
Okay, so rolling deployments are about keeping things running smoothly.
Yeah.
During an update.
Exactly.
What about blue-green deployments?
Okay, so picture this.
Okay.
You have two identical environments. Let's call them blue and green.
Right.
The blue-green deployment.
Okay.
You deploy the new version of your application to the green environment. Test everything thoroughly.
Right.
And if all looks good, you simply flip a switch to route all your traffic to the green environment.
Oh, okay.
The blue environment becomes your backup.
Ah, so it's like having a safety net.
Exactly.
If something goes wrong with the new version,
you
can quickly switch back to the old one.
Right.
I like that.
Very cool.
You also mentioned canary deployments.
I did.
What's the thinking there?
Canary deployments are perfect.
When you're rolling out a big change and want to mitigate risk.
Right.
So you deploy the new version to a small percentage of your users, maybe 5% or 10%.
Got it.
And monitor their experience closely. If everything looks good, you gradually roll it out to more users.
Right.
If you see problems, you can quickly roll back.
Got it. So it's like dipping your toes in the water.
Yeah.
Before jumping in head first.
Exactly.
Test the waters with a small group before going all in.
Precisely.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But I imagine things can get complex when you're managing these different deployments.
They can.
Especially with a large application.
Absolutely. One of the biggest challenges in a distributed system is something called service discovery.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You have all these different services or components of your application talking to each other. How do they know where to find each other?
Yeah.
Especially when things are constantly changing with new deployment.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's like trying to keep track of a constantly shifting map where the landmarks keep moving around.
Yeah, and that's where tools like reverse proxies come in.
Okay.
They act as intermediaries, helping services find each other.
Right.
And ensuring that traffic is routed to the correct destination.
So it's like having a traffic cop directing requests to the right place.
You got it.
Even when things are changing behind the scenes.
Precisely. And even experienced engineers find service discovery tricky.
Oh, really?
It's one of those things that seems simple on the surface, but can get surprisingly complex in practice.
Okay, so we've covered pull request automation.
We have.
And deployment automation. Both crucial for getting code from a developer's machine to a live environment.
Right.
What about that third pillar you mentioned? Application performance management.
Right.
It's where things shift from development to operations, right?
Exactly. Application performance management, or APM, is all about making sure your application is running smoothly after it's deployed.
Right.
Think of it as keeping a close eye on your application's health and vital signs.
So once the code is out in the wild, APM helps us make sure it's behaving itself, not causing any trouble.
Precisely. We want to know if it's performing well, if there are any errors or bottlenecks, and if it's using resources efficiently.
Okay.
This is where tools for log aggregation and metric aggregation come in handy.
Break those down for me.
Sure.
What are log aggregation and metric aggregation?
Okay.
And why are they important?
So imagine your application as a complex machine with tons of moving parts.
Right.
Each part is generating logs or little messages about what it's doing.
Right.
Log aggregation is like collecting all those messages into a central location where you can easily search and analyze them. It's super helpful for diagnosing problems and understanding how your application behaves in the real world.
So it's like having a detective's case file.
Exactly.
Where you can go back and piece together what happened leading up to a problem.
Precisely. And metric aggregation focuses on numbers. Things like how long it takes to process a request, how much memory your application is using, and how much disk space is available.
Okay.
Think of it like having a dashboard for your application's health.
Right.
You can see in real time how everything is performing.
That sounds incredibly powerful.
It is.
You can literally see if your application is starting to sweat under pressure.
Yeah. You can even set up alerts to notify you if a key metric crosses a certain threshold. Like if response times suddenly spike.
Right.
Or error rates increase.
Right.
It's like having an early warning system for your application.
This is all incredibly insightful.
Yeah.
So we've covered the 3 pillars of DevOps engineering.
We have.
Pull request automation, deployment automation.
Right.
And application performance management.
Yes.
But before we move on, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Right.
How can someone actually break into the DevOps field?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
One expert we're diving into today has a unique perspective that blends practical career advice with personal growth.
Okay.
And even a touch of spirituality.
Okay, now you've got my attention.
Yeah.
DevOps and spirituality.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hear more.
It's actually quite fascinating.
Okay.
He talks about the importance of mindset, of being present,
right,
of focusing on the here and now.
Okay.
He even has this technique called the click technique.
Click technique.
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
It's super simple, but surprisingly effective.
All right.
Throughout the day, whenever you have a moment,
Okay.
you snap your fingers and check in with yourself.
Okay.
What are you thinking about? Are you dwelling on the past? Are you stressing about the future?
Uh-huh.
Or are you fully present in this moment?
So it's a mindfulness exercise.
Yes.
A way to bring your awareness back to the present moment.
Exactly.
I can see how that could be valuable.
Absolutely.
Especially in a fast-paced field like DevOps.
For sure. He believes that this ability to be present,
Okay.
to clear your mind of clutter, is incredibly valuable when you're dealing with complex systems and high-pressure situations.
Right.
It helps you stay calm, think clearly, and make better decisions.
Oh, this is already blowing my mind.
It is fascinating.
We're talking about technical skills, career advice,
right,
and now mindfulness techniques.
It's all
in the context of DevOps.
For sure.
I'm hooked.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
I'm ready for it.
Good.
Bring on the insights.
All right, let's dive a little deeper into this expert's perspective on building a successful DevOps career. What's fascinating is how he blends technical expertise with a focus on mindset and personal growth.
Okay. We left off talking about the click technique as a way to become more present and mindful.
Right.
What else does he suggest for cultivating that calm, focused state of mind?
He really emphasizes the importance of staying calm in a crisis.
Okay.
You know, he says it is going to be okay and encourages folks to remember that even in the toughest situations, this too shall pass.
That's such a powerful reminder.
Yeah.
When things are going haywire, it's easy to get swept up in the panic.
Absolutely.
But taking a moment to breathe and remember that it's temporary can make a huge difference.
Huge difference, yeah.
For sure.
He also stresses the importance of having a plan.
Okay.
You know, he says, figure out what you want to achieve, create a roadmap to get there, and then ruthlessly eliminate distractions that pull you off course.
So it's about being intentional with your time and energy.
Exactly.
That's especially crucial in DevOps.
Yes.
Where there's always something new to learn. And new challenges to tackle.
Absolutely. And when it comes to actually landing that dream DevOps job, he has some insightful advice that might surprise you.
Okay.
He's a huge advocate for what he calls learning in public.
Okay. Learning in public.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
What does that involve?
It's a 3-step process.
Right.
First, announce your learning goals publicly.
Okay.
Tell people what you're planning to learn and how long you're giving yourself to do it.
So it's about accountability.
It is.
Putting it out there for the world to see.
Exactly.
I can see how that would motivate you to follow through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The second step is to document your progress.
All right.
Share what you're learning, the resources you're using, the challenges you're facing, even the aha moments.
Yeah. So it's not just about saying, hey, I'm learning this.
Right.
It's about taking people along on the journey.
Yeah.
Showing them the ups and downs and creating a public record of your learning process.
He suggests writing weekly updates.
Oh, yeah.
On platforms where developers hang out.
Right.
You're creating valuable content for others while solidifying your own understanding.
It's a win-win.
It is.
You're learning, teaching, and building your reputation all at the same time.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's the third step?
The third step is to create something tangible.
Okay.
That showcases your skills.
Right.
Build a real project, contribute to open source, or even write in-depth documentation.
So it's not just about saying, something.
No.
It's about showing it.
Exactly.
Proving you can apply what you've learned to real-world problems.
Right. He believes this learning in public approach is far more effective than just listing keywords on a resume.
Right.
He's encountered candidates with resumes crammed full of buzzwords. But when it comes to demonstrating their skills, they fall short.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Hiring managers want to see how you think, how you solve problems, and how you approach challenges.
Absolutely.
The list of technologies doesn't tell the whole story.
Nope. And he walks the walk.
Okay.
When it comes to his own career, he emphasizes the importance of personal branding and showcasing your impact, not just your experience.
Okay.
Did you know his resume is only 1 page long?
No way.
Even though he has over 2 decades of experience.
1 page.
1 page.
That's incredible.
It is.
Most people with that much experience have resumes that could double as doorstops.
I know, right?
Wow.
He focuses on showcasing the problems he's solved and the value he's created. Not just listing job titles and responsibilities. It's about highlighting your unique contributions.
Yeah.
Not blending in with the crowd.
That's refreshing.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that quality trumps quantity.
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to showcasing your skills and experience.
For sure. And he believes that this mindset of continuous learning and improvement is crucial for thriving in the ever-changing world of DevOps. Technology is constantly evolving. New tools are emerging. And the best engineers are the ones who embrace that change and keep pushing themselves to learn and grow.
So it's not enough to just learn a set of tools and call it a day.
No.
You have to be curious, stay up to date, and be comfortable with stepping outside of your comfort zone.
Absolutely. He also has some strong opinions about what hiring managers are really looking for in a DevOps engineer. And it's not always what you might think.
All right, spill the tea. What are those hidden qualities that make a DevOps candidate stand out?
He says that focusing too much on specific tools and technologies is a big mistake. Sure, you need a solid foundation in tools, like Docker, Kubernetes, and Terraform. But those are just the table stakes.
So it's like saying, I know how to use a hammer.
Exactly.
But that doesn't necessarily make you a skilled carpenter.
Right.
It's about what you can build with those tools.
Precisely. He emphasizes that the truly great DevOps engineers are the ones who can solve problems, understand the underlying principles, and work effectively within a team.
So it's about being able to think critically, see the big picture, communicate collectively, and collaborate well with others. The soft skills are just as important as the technical skills.
Absolutely. He shared a story about a time he was doing an assessment for a bank in South Africa, and he noticed a section of the office that was completely off limits.
A banking mystery.
Yeah.
I'm already hooked. What was the deal with this forbidden zone?
It turned out that this area housed a super old mission-critical system. The developer who built it had passed away years ago.
Oh, wow.
And no one knew how it worked anymore.
So they had this ticking time bomb in their infrastructure.
Yeah.
And no one dared to touch it.
Exactly. The bank was terrified that if the system went down, the whole bank could collapse.
Oh, my God.
They had it rigged up with multiple backups and load balancers.
Wow.
Just praying it would keep running.
That's both fascinating and terrifying.
It is.
So what's the lesson here?
Yeah.
Is he saying we should all become experts in ancient banking systems?
Not quite. He's highlighting the importance of understanding legacy systems, the challenges of maintaining complex infrastructure, and the crucial role of documentation. If that original developer had documented his work properly, the bank wouldn't be in this precarious situation.
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
It's easy to overlook documentation when you're in the thick of building something.
It is.
But it's essential for long-term maintainability and knowledge transfer.
Absolutely. He also criticizes the throw code over the wall mentality, where developers just toss their code to operations and expect someone else to deal with it.
Ah, the classic blame game.
Yeah.
It's always someone else's problem. It worked on my machine.
Exactly. He believes this siloed approach is detrimental to a successful DevOps culture. He argues that everyone on the team, developers, operations, everyone, should have a sense of ownership over the entire process, from writing code to deploying it to supporting it in production.
So it's about shared responsibility.
Yes.
And a holistic view of the software lifecycle.
Precisely. And he emphasizes that having this broader understanding of the entire pipeline, not just your little piece of it, will make you a more valuable asset to your team and give you more control over your career trajectory.
So it's not just about being a specialist in one narrow area.
Oh.
It's about understanding how all the pieces fit together.
Yeah.
And being able to contribute across the entire software development process.
He encourages developers to strive for that T-shaped skill set.
Okay.
Deep expertise in one area, but also a broad understanding of the entire software ecosystem.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's about being adaptable, being able to learn new skills quickly,
right,
and being able to communicate effectively with people from different technical backgrounds.
Absolutely.
They're not pigeonholed into one specific role or technology.
Right. He also talks about the importance of staying calm under pressure.
Yes.
Especially in a DevOps environment where things will inevitably go wrong.
Yeah, when systems are crashing and deadlines are looming.
For sure.
It's easy to lose your cool.
Yeah.
How does he suggest we deal with those high-pressure situations?
He encourages a calm, collected, problem-solving mindset. No panicking, no finger-pointing.
Right.
Just clear-headed action.
Okay.
Figure out what's wrong,
Yeah.
come up with a plan, and execute it calmly and effectively.
So it's about channeling that inner Zen master.
Yeah.
Even when the world around you feels like it's falling apart.
Exactly. He believes that this ability to stay calm is not only essential for technical problem solving,
Right.
but also for effective leadership.
Okay.
He says, if you want to lead others, you need to first be able to lead yourself.
That's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
It's about self-awareness, self-regulation, and being able to inspire confidence in others, even when things are tough.
Absolutely. And he believes that these qualities, calmness, clarity, and a focus on solutions, are valuable not just in the workplace, but in all aspects of life.
Okay, now this is where the spiritual side of things really comes into play, right?
Yes.
It's about applying those same principles of mindfulness and presence to your personal life as well.
Exactly. He believes that the same practices that can make you a better DevOps engineer, mindfulness, presence, intentional action, can also help you live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. It's about finding that harmony between your inner world and your outer world.
This is blowing my mind.
It is fascinating.
We're talking about building a successful career, mastering complex technical skills, and now finding inner peace and fulfillment.
It's all connected.
All connected through this lens of DevOps.
It is.
Wow.
And he actually shared a story about how stepping outside of his comfort zone and attending a self-discovery retreat had a profound impact on his approach to leadership and personal growth.
So it's like he was cross-training his mind, expanding his horizons, and bringing those insights back to his work and life.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
What did he learn there?
The retreat taught him the importance of connecting with his inner self, understanding his motivations and values, and communicating authentically with others.
Right.
It's about bringing your whole self to the table, both in your personal life and your professional life.
This conversation is so refreshing.
Good.
It's not just about the technical stuff.
Yeah.
It's about becoming a well-rounded individual, a better leader, and a more mindful human being.
Absolutely. And he's a shining example of his own learn in public philosophy. He's sharing his knowledge, experience, and insights in a way that's both informative and inspiring.
He's walking the walk.
He is.
And it's incredibly motivating to see.
Yeah.
This whole deep dive has been a gold mine of valuable information and insightful perspectives.
It's been a fascinating exploration for sure.
Before we move on to the final part of this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a thought to ponder.
Right.
If you had to pick just one piece of advice from everything we've discussed so far to focus on right now, what would it be and why?
And even more importantly, how would you apply that advice to your specific situation? What concrete steps could you take today to move closer to your goals?
Let those questions simmer in your mind as we continue our exploration of DevOps.
Good.
All right, so we've explored like the core pillars of DevOps engineering.
Yeah.
The importance of mindset and personal growth.
Right.
And even touched on some like surprisingly insightful career advice. But I'm ready to get a little more technical now.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's dive into the nuts and bolts of how software actually gets deployed.
All right.
In a DevOps environment.
One of the foundational concepts you'll encounter is the distinction between virtual machines, VMs, and containers.
Okay, VMs and containers, I've heard those terms thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
But I'll admit, I'm still a little fuzzy on the difference.
Okay.
Why should a DevOps engineer care about this distinction?
Think of it this way.
Okay.
You have a powerful physical server sitting in a data center.
Right.
A virtual machine is like carving out a virtualized chunk of that server, allowing you to run multiple operating systems on a single physical machine.
All right.
Each VM has its own isolated environment, its own operating system, and its own resources.
So it's like dividing that physical server into smaller, self-contained compartments.
Exactly. It's great for running applications that need a specific operating system or have strict isolation requirements.
Okay.
But VMs can be a bit resource intensive.
Right.
That's where containers come in.
Okay, so how are containers different?
Instead of virtualizing the entire server, containers virtualize the operating system kernel, the core of the OS.
Right.
This makes them much lighter and faster than VMs. They share the same underlying OS kernel, which makes them super efficient for deploying applications quickly and scaling them up or down as needed.
So containers are like smaller, nimbler packages that can be spun up and torn down more easily. I can see how that would be a huge advantage.
It is,
in a fast-paced DevOps environment.
And tools like Docker have made working with containers incredibly accessible. It's like packaging your application and all its dependencies into a neat little box that can run consistently across different environments.
So in a DevOps context, when would you choose VMs over containers? Or vice versa?
Right.
What's the key insight for making that decision?
If you need rock-solid isolation or have to support applications that require different operating systems, VMs might be the way to go. But if speed, efficiency, and scalability are top priorities, containers are often the better choice.
Got it.
It's all about finding the right tool for the job.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like choosing between a sturdy truck for hauling heavy loads and a nimble sports car for zipping around a racetrack. Each has its strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly. And speaking of powerful tools, let's talk about infrastructure as code.
All right.
This has been a game changer in the DevOps world.
Infrastructure as code. That sounds very meta.
It kind of is.
I'm picturing code writing more code.
Yeah.
What's the core concept here?
So traditionally, setting up servers and infrastructure involved a lot of manual configuration, clicking through interfaces. And let's be honest, a lot of potential for human error.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
Typos in configuration files, mismatched settings. It can lead to hours of troubleshooting and frustration.
Absolutely. Infrastructure as code flips that model on its head. Instead of manually configuring everything, you write code to define your infrastructure.
So you're literally writing code to describe how you want your server set up.
Yes.
The software you want installed, the network configurations, everything.
Exactly. And this code can be stored in version control, tested, and automated, just like any other software. It brings all the best practices of software development to the world of infrastructure management.
Okay, I'm starting to see the beauty of this. No more manual tweaks. No more inconsistent environments.
Exactly.
Everything is clearly defined and repeatable. It's like having a blueprint for your entire infrastructure.
And tools like Terraform and Ansible have made infrastructure as code incredibly powerful. You can spin up entire environments with a few lines of code.
Wow.
And you can do it consistently and reliably. Every single time.
This all ties back to that theme of automation.
Absolutely.
Making everything as repeatable and error-free as possible.
Yes.
It frees up sysadmins from those tedious manual tasks and allows them to focus on higher-level challenges.
Exactly. And when you combine infrastructure as code with containers and automated deployment pipelines, you start to unlock some truly transformative capabilities.
It's like taking all the manual, error-prone steps out of the equation and replacing them with a streamlined, automated system. I imagine that has a huge impact on a team's speed and agility.
Absolutely. But with all this talk about powerful tools and technologies, I think it's important to emphasize that DevOps is ultimately about people.
That's a great point. Tools are important.
They are.
But they're just a means to an end. It's the people who use those tools and the culture they create that truly make a DevOps initiative successful.
Exactly. DevOps is about collaboration, communication, and a shared passion for building amazing things. Yeah. It's about breaking down silos, fostering trust, and empowering teams to deliver value quickly and effectively.
It's about creating a culture of continuous learning.
Absolutely.
Improvement and innovation.
Precisely. And that brings us back to that learn in public philosophy we discussed earlier. Yeah. It's not just about building your own skills. Yeah. It's about sharing your knowledge and contributing to the community. Right. It's about helping others learn and grow.
It's about paying it forward, mentoring others, and lifting each other up.
Right.
It's about creating a culture of support and encouragement within the tech community.
And remember, the learning journey never truly ends. Right. DevOps is a constantly evolving field, so even the most experienced engineers need to embrace continuous learning and stay curious.
So even when you land that dream DevOps job, you can't just rest on your laurels.
No.
You have to keep pushing yourself.
Right.
Keep learning and keep growing.
Absolutely.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
And that's what makes it so exciting. Yeah. There's always something new to discover. Right. New challenges to overcome. Right. And new ways to make a positive impact.
This entire deep dive has been an incredible journey.
It has.
We've explored the core principles of DevOps, the essential skills and tools, the importance of mindset and personal growth, and even the deeper connections to spirituality and mindfulness.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you.
Before we wrap up,
I
want to leave our listeners with a final thought to ponder.
Right.
We've talked a lot about tools and technologies, but at its heart, DevOps is about people. Collaboration, and a shared passion for building amazing things.
Absolutely.
So as you continue your DevOps journey, remember to connect with others, share your knowledge, and never stop learning.
And remember, no matter what challenges you encounter along the way, it is going to be okay.
That's it for this deep dive into the world of DevOps engineering. We hope you've enjoyed the journey and learned something valuable along the way.
For sure.
Until next time, keep learning.
Keep growing.
Keep growing.
And keep building.
And keep building.